Take 79. The Ron Bass Show.
Hey guys, it's Ron Bass. Yeah, me in person. With another edition of the Ron Bass Show. It's your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation. Dry humor. Mr. Brent Atterbury. Producer.
Howdy.
Howdy. There was a TV show, we talked about that, called The Howdy Doody Show. Remember that?
Yes.
Wonder whatever happened to that show. It was a puppet.
Yeah.
Kids show, right?
Yeah. Got canceled.
Got canceled like all the other, like all TV shows eventually. If the advertising goes down, then the shows get dismissed, right?
But it's really more ratings driven.
Ratings, I get it.
Yeah, if there's not, they can if they calculate there's not enough people watching, and they can't sell enough advertising for it, so it's hand in hand.
It really comes down to money, right?
Yeah, it does.
So that's just the way life is, guys. Not all the time is it about money, but hey, if you're in business, you're a professional.
That's right.
It doesn't have to always be about money, but hey, you got to make the money to pay the bills. Got to make the money to invest in yourself and your business and to move forward. And it does take money for sure. But at any rate, all kinds of stuff going on this week.
Really?
Yeah. I've been studying medical stuff. I've been studying music stuff. By the way, guys, thank you so much for all your comments this week. A whole bunch of people said some really nice things about our podcast. And just to make it perfectly clear, I want you guys to know we're not doing this for accolades, but we're doing it, and we appreciate the compliments, but we're doing it to share our experiences, Brent and I, our life's experiences, to try to hopefully touch a nerve. It's an old saying. And maybe somebody will get something out of it, right? That'll make their day go better, their life go better, to make a better decision, hopefully. And we just have fun doing it. We're not doing it for the money. We're not doing it just because we want to share and help people and inspire people and so forth and so on. So I really appreciate the comments. People are listening to us from all over the world, from the United States, obviously, where we're at. Mexico, Belarus, I think is how you pronounce it. Ukraine, Russia, India, Pakistan. So it's pretty cool that we can have a platform from right here in little old Springfield, Missouri, that we can speak to the world. I find that really interesting and very profound in many ways. You couldn't have done this 20, 30 years ago.
No. Well, I mean, you could have, not this way.
Right.
Yeah.
And to have the resources to do it then would have been astronomical.
Yeah.
Compared to now, we can do it with an iPhone. And
there's people that have launched careers because they've been discovered.
Yeah.
By being seen on the internet, whatever it's
YouTube
or podcast.
You still got a chance then.
I still have a chance. I just got to keep trying.
Keep trying. Guys, that's the key, man. You just keep trying. You never give up. You just keep swinging the axe and keep going and going and going. And I was telling Brent last night, I was in my martial arts school. We trained most evenings, and I was training with kids that were 50 years younger than me, and I'm thinking to myself, that's a credit to the idea that you never give up. You keep doing what you have to do to be able to stay in the game. Heck, I've been reading articles about people that are much older than me that are running marathons, that are still doing track events, that are still, just doing all kinds of sports things and still being very active. So there's no deadline or no limit on what you can do as far as your aging. Now, most of our viewers and listeners are younger, but someday they're going to be older. So the idea is to look forward to the opportunity to stay healthy and fit. Of course, we talk about it all the time. Being in the gym every day makes a big difference. The energy level, the way that exercise helps you mentally, physically, your blood pressure, your heart. I read an article yesterday about the heart. I asked Siri, or the AI, I said, is exercising every day going to wear out the heart, or does it make the heart better? And the response was very specific. No, it said the heart becomes stronger by exercise and becomes more efficient, more effective. Because there's always been this argument, there's only so many heartbeats. But according to this article, no, that's not the case. You can make your heart last longer and be more efficient as long as you are living. Of course, things can come your way that you can't count on, like cancer and accidents and things like that. You're going to not be alive anymore. But while you are alive, the key is enjoy yourself.
Yes.
And you can enjoy yourself a heck of a lot more, don't you agree, if you're healthy and fit, focused?
Yes, except when you have a bad breakup and it breaks your heart.
Speaking of that, I just saw a video on TikTok, a friend of mine, heartbroken over her significant other. And I think to myself, and that's not the only, I see this all the time. Like, I have very few friends that are doing well with their wives or girlfriends or boyfriends. Seems like the further we get along in life, the harder it gets. And with I think the internet's ruined a lot of things. It's a good thing, like we talked about a while ago, for maybe what we're doing and for people that can have a voice to the world. But at the same time, there's so much negativity that when you're going on the internet, you're looking for something. It's just heartache after heartache and negative after negative, and it affects you.
Yeah.
So it's danged if you do, danged if you don't. But relationships, guys, we talk about it all the time, could be a huge distraction. And even if it's a great relationship, it's distracting because you're always worried about your wife, always worried about your girlfriend while you're trying to accomplish your goals. If you have a really good relationship, it should be based on mutual respect. And that's really the best kind of relationship. Not a romantic relationship. That's going to wane after a while. But the idea is to respect your mate and they respect you. And then you get along so much better, right?
Right.
Brent, you've kind of got your say on that. You talk about it all the time with your wife.
I do. Oh, you want me to talk about
yeah,
it?
Yeah. Talk about your wife and why it's been working for 30 or 40 years.
I'm the opposite of what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Except for, yes, there is respect. There is, we want to share life's experiences together. She doesn't do everything I do. I don't do everything she does. But in our journey, and I call it, the book that has many chapters, and we like to share the chapters together and grow old together. And we've figured out a way to do it. It wasn't always perfect. It wasn't always, roses and chocolate in the beginning, but
roses and chocolate.
Yes, but now it's ice cream. So
I've been not eating as much ice cream lately.
Congratulations. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it.
Easy to do. Sugar.
But yeah, I'm very lucky and
lucky.
Blessed.
You're a lucky
guy. We've figured out a way to
make it work,
to live together, be together, go through the ups and downs. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, you're in the 30% group because that's that's about the percentage of people that make it even up to like 5 or 6 years, let alone 20 or 30 or 40, however long you've been married.
Yeah, a long time.
Jeez Louise. No. I think the longest I ever dated anybody was like 6 months, maybe a year. That's terrible to say.
Mm-hmm.
Just growing up, bad mindset, different attitude about women. I think it had a lot to do with my parents because I've talked about this, they argued every day. So here I am, a child, listening to this every single day. And I think as I got older, it put a really bad taste in my mouth about relationships.
Sure.
And I remember going to psychologists and having sessions, and they would talk to me about this, and I would talk about it. It's growing up, man, is like, that's the whole ball of wax. If you're a parent, golly, you've got so much pressure on you to raise that kid in a way that he's going to come out okay. Because, man, I had so many problems coming out of those experiences. And I'm not hating on my parents. I love my parents, but looking back, I can see how critical it is for a child to be in a good environment.
Yes.
So, and I'm not a parent, so I don't have a lot of experience to talk about. However, being a coach, I have a lot of kids in my school. I'm going through a lot of parenting, so to speak.
Well, you talk about how, as an adult, hang around with good people. They can influence you, good or bad.
Yes.
As a child, it's magnified. You can strongly influence a child. So that is a lot of responsibility.
Well, moving on to another subject. The music business, which I am in, have been for a long time. It's I've been studying this whole thing about streaming because right now the average consumer, the only way he can get his music is to go on like a Spotify and pay a premium or listen to free ads and have to listen to advertisements. And so the artist is struggling because back in the old days, he could sell, she could sell, they could sell albums and make a living if they were somewhat successful. The radio was your Spotify, so to speak, and if you had a hit song, you could sell albums. And now with streaming, the income is so low that you have to have like a billion streams to make any real money. And I read an article about that today. It said that there's like 500 artists now that have hit 1 billion streams. And it's only been happening now for the last couple of years. It took a long time. They said it took 9 years on the average for an artist to hit 1 billion streams. But now, in the last couple of years, several artists have hit it within 90 days. Like
Wow.
Lady Gaga as an example. And that, by the way, 1 billion stream pays about $3 million. Okay, so there's probably, there's millions of artists trying to make it and break through. And out of all that, you've got a handful that are at the top. So it's tough, and it's getting tougher. And so a lot of the indie artists, the independent artists, they're just going out there doing their own thing, trying to make it. This one artist that I've been studying lately, he's on a tour. He's going to like 20 cities, and he's only got a few hundred fans, so to speak, maybe a few thousand fans, because he started off doing Spotify. Now he's quit doing it altogether, and he's selling. I was telling you or somebody the other day, I actually bought it's called a Fizzy, and all it is a card. It's a digital card that you plug into your phone, and it downloads your music. So he's selling that for like $25. So it's basically an album. But he's doing it on his website. He's not going through Spotify anymore. He's not doing any streaming. And he's going out on the road, and he's promoting himself by going to record stores, because people still do buy vinyl.
Yeah.
And he's doing like going to like an open area, and he's like singing and playing and trying to attract a crowd. And then he's going to a venue, which he's going to rent himself and hope that people show up. And so he's a gunslinger, which, look, I can relate to that because all the shows that I did were the same way. I rented the venue, I put my artists on the show, and I hoped for the best. And about half the time we broke even, about half the time we lost money. So it never really made a profit. But I was on that track, not to use a pun, get it, track.
Yeah.
And if my artists hadn't all disappeared on me and left me, I would have probably still been on that track, and I think I would have created some success. But look, I say all that to say this, guys. Brent and I talk about this all the time. The podcast is basically set up for two purposes. One, to inspire people through inspirational experiences that either we've had or that other people have and we talk about, or through success stories. Might be professional success, sports success, business success. So it kind of breaks down into two categories. So in this case, with this young man, by the way, his name is, I think it's KWE, and then it's like Black Star Artist. That's the name of his website, and .com. But I applaud this guy, man. He's out there, he's gunslinging, and he's doing it on his own with his own money.
He's working hard.
Working hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. That's what it's all about, man. Mm-hmm. What's he got to lose? I mean, he might lose some money. He might gain some fans. He's certainly going to gain something from the experience. So I say that to say this, guys. Don't be afraid to try anything. Give it a shot. You got nothing to lose. And if you do lose, pick yourself back up, brush yourself off, and try again. So whether it's business or sport or professional or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in your life, hell, man, go for the gold. Who cares? I've been up and down so many times, I've lost track. Sometimes I sit down when it's quiet and I start writing notes just to try to remember all the things that I've either done or tried to do and failed or succeeded, because it's a good reference for me to reflect and think about, where have I been? What have I done? Where am I going? How did I get there? Why didn't I get there? You get the idea. I'm not trying to be super analytical, guys, but there again, that's what the podcast is all about, sharing. I think I've shared quite a bit already here.
You have.
It may be time for some breaking news.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm not sure. What was the thing? Don't call me sir. Call me Mister.
Well, it's Shirley.
Yeah, don't call me Shirley.
Surely you wouldn't do that, would you, Ron?
Yeah.
Don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley. Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. Okay. Look, I'll let you tell us some breaking news, and then we'll maybe tell another story or two, and we'll get out of here.
Awesome.
Awesome possum.
Well, yes. I was going to ask you today if you had considered, you have a dojo, you guys do multiple types of martial arts, and do you think at some point you'll be doing alligator wrestling?
Oh my God, for real? What's this story all about?
Well, 2 days ago, a Florida woman was walking her dog along this little creek that was 15 feet away, and an alligator sprung out and grabbed her dog. She got down on the ground, grabbed the alligator, and repeatedly punched it in the eye multiple times, got a hold of the dog, and finally it let loose of the dog.
Wow.
And the alligator scraped her arm pretty good with its teeth. But,
wow.
And then she kicked it, and it kind of rolled down a little bit, and she ran back in the house. But
how in the world did she have the courage to do that?
I don't know. I think it's just, I guess in your training, it's reaction. I think she just said, "You're not taking my dog today.
You're not taking my dog. Screw you."
Yeah. So
that's a heck of a story.
I just thought that's interesting.
Wow. She could have been killed easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she put her dog over that fear.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Wow.
The gator was 5 foot long, so it wasn't a big one, but it's big enough.
It's a gator with teeth that could have chopped her arm off or cut her arm off.
Yep.
Cut her head off.
Yeah.
Let alone could have maimed her.
Yeah.
Killed her.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's a great story.
So you could use that as inspiration if you want to do
very inspirational.
Gator wrestling here. I guarantee people come in and watch.
You know what? It'd probably be a show, wouldn't it? Yeah. Might have to have some disclaimers, though.
That's true. That's true. And today is Apple Dumpling Day, and it's also Biscuits and Gravy Week.
Ooh, we like that.
Man.
Yes.
I had to talk about that.
Sometimes I get that late at night at Walmart. I take it home and put it in the microwave, and I have biscuits and gravy late at night. That's good stuff.
Yep. Some people have never had it before.
No way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
It's also Small Pet Rodent Awareness Week.
What in the world does that mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it means if you have mice in your house and they're your friends and you feed them. I don't really know.
I'm not sure what to think about that.
No.
Speaking of rodents, I just saw a little grasshopper by my back door, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he hopped away. What do you think the meaning of that is?
He thought you had a long tongue, and you were going to reach out and grab him.
One final little story here, and we'll get out of here. So, look, I always talk about drugs and alcohol and the consequences.
Uh-oh. Just in case you hear this, it's the train.
And what does that mean?
Somebody hit their goal. Yep.
Well, guys, at any rate, the consequences of bad behavior. In this particular case, the consequences of smoking marijuana every day. And, I hate to preach to people, but I'm always interested in trying to encourage my friends, particularly people that I associate with. And when I see them trying to do good with their life, I want to try to help them to make better choices, right? So, and I'm not trying to be like a teetotaler. Look, you can have a drink once in a while. You can probably smoke pot once in a while. You can probably do anything once in a while. But what happens is people get into the habit, and next thing you know, they're doing it every day, and then bad news bears. Mm-hmm. So in this particular case, a good friend of mine, smoking pot every day. And I keep telling him, man, it's not a good idea for a lot of reasons. And guess what? He had a really bad experience the other night. Yeah, he went into like a real anxiety event, and his heart was racing, and he was freaking out, and he, was going to call me, but he wound up calling like a family member, and it was really bad. But eventually he passed out and went to sleep. And when he woke up the next day, he felt better, but not 100%. And I remember when I was in high school, I had a very similar experience. That's the only time I ever smoked pot. And what I've studied and what I think has happened is that people that have certain chemical imbalances, anxiety disorders, phobia disorders, when they do these drugs, it exacerbates You like that word, exacerbates? Exacerbates
Can't say it now.
the problem, and you wind up with like a psychotic event, so to speak. Maybe not psychotic, but something like that. And so I only say that to say this, guys, look, it's just not worth it. And I told my friend the other night, this is before this even happened, I said, it's bad enough that you're doing something to hurt your body physically, the lungs, the brain. But on top of that, it's even worse because for a person that's progressive, wanting to improve their life and espousing that, you like that word, espousing, to others to improve their lives, you're being hypocritical by doing things that are not healthy and fit and helping you to stay fit. But the worst part of all this is that you're bandaging your problem. You're putting a Band-Aid on what's really wrong. You wouldn't be doing this every day if you felt good about yourself. But you don't feel good, so you do this to feel better. You got to identify what the heck is wrong in your brain and your life and find a solution that's real. In my case, exercise. Like I've always said, it's not 100% solution, but it makes a big difference, guys. Counseling, maybe some medications, not the kind that'll make you high, but the kind that'll correct your chemistry issues, because that's what often goes on. The chemistry isn't right, and you wind up depressed. And you're depressed, you don't feel good, you reach out for something to make you feel better. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to bring that up as an example to back up what I always say about doing these things. Okay. Any last words, sir?
Well, you said some big words in that. So the only big word I can think of right now is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
And that was Dick Van Dyke. I have another.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I have another word I just wanted to bring up too. Uncanny. It's
not a big word.
No, but it's an interesting word.
Okay.
And the other day I was talking about it, and nobody had ever heard that. What does that mean? And of course I looked it up, which I knew what it meant, but basically it kind of means something strange, different. But I like that word, uncanny. Yeah. I don't ever hear people use that word.
No.
I like to use words that other people don't use.
That's right.
I'm a little
Throw them off guard.
I'm a little strange. Speaking of guard, in my martial arts school, we do what we have guard. Open guard, closed guard, quarter guard, half guard, guard.
Right guard.
Right guard. Speaking of guard, I saw this this commercial on TikTok. It's just crazy how far they're taking these commercials now. Like they're using sex to promote these products like deodorant.
Yeah.
But thinking back, remember the High Karate commercial?
Uh-huh.
These young people, they don't know what that is, but it was a perfume or a cologne, and they were using sex, so to speak, to promote the product. So you're an advertising guy. I'm sure he could talk all day about using sex to promote, promote a brand.
And animals.
And kids and animals.
Sell.
That's a whole other subject for a whole other day. We're going to get out of here, guys. We're running over our time limit. But look, guys, just remember, if you don't give up, eventually those stars are going to line up. I don't know when, I don't know how soon, but I guarantee you if you don't give up and you keep working and be consistent with your effort, sooner or later you're going to have progress. Progress is better than nothing. It may not be where you want to get to as quickly as you want to get, but it still has merit. It means a lot. Don't beat yourself up. Pat yourself on the back every time you make progress. And if you fall back, you'll come back to center. You'll fall back, you'll come back to center. The key is to keep going, man. Keep going, keep going. Be around really good people. Stay the course. And eventually you're going to find yourself feeling a whole lot better about yourself for what you've been able to accomplish through all the hard stuff that it takes to get there. All right. Until that time and even after that time, just remember, keep your head up, keep your chin up, and stay positive.